Nebraska and quarterback controversy discussion for 2027. We'll talk about that at the start of the show. Also, speaking of Nebraska, they've made their decision on which 3 players are heading to Big Ten Media Days. Did you miss this bulletin? A lot of people did. Usually a high-end sports note at this time of the year kind of got swept under the rug. We'll talk about it at 6:15 because the 3 guys they're sending, very interesting choices for different reasons. Speaking of interesting, we're going to catch up with the Millard South softball team. As Taylor Fege, their head coach, is going to bring their players in studio. Got to catch up with the football team on Tuesday. We'll catch up with the softball team on Thursday as we start our in-state tour around the metro area. If you're a player or coach and listening, want to get on the show, it's not too early, not too late. Let us know when you have availability. We'd love to have you in. We'll buy or sell on several different topics. Also, Brian Kelly is returning to a screen near you. What kind of accent will he have? We'll talk about that at 6:45. We buy or sell on several different topics around the sporting world, including is it something or is it nothing? Several topics coming up, like LaMelo Ball now being a Minnesota Timberwolf will appear in that segment. We'll get Dan Campen's thoughts on that. Also, Brian Munson from Husker Online and On3 was very long-winded tonight because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Nebraska being very active in the recruiting cycle. We'll get you updated on what's going on in recruiting land for Matt Rhule's squad as well. Brian Munson is actually in the state of Nebraska. He's out in Columbus tonight, getting ready to head to Grand Island tomorrow as his youngest son is moving his ways up the ranks as well. The younger Munson is actually a 4-star prospect out of Rockwall, Texas. Now we'll talk about that with Munson as well. 402-951-1620 is how you can get a hold of the show. You can also follow us at After Hours 1620, where this will be showing live on our news feed. Is Dan Campen just is doing his best Jimmy Allen impersonation online right now. But we will. You could add me to the stream. I'm in.
What did I do?
You're under my name.
Oh, okay.
You can follow us there and catch everything online. Punch in for the night shift. Don't forget to leave us a comment on YouTube and give us anything any thoughts you have about what we are talking about tonight as well. We were off last night because Dan Campen was a part of an esteemed group of colleagues that got to celebrate the College World Series. You want to talk about last night? How'd it go?
It went great. I got to eat a 14-ounce steak, and
there you go. What cut did you get?
I got the New York strip.
Okay.
Everyone else went prime rib. I was like, I really just want a good old fashioned steak.
Where did you guys go? Yeah, I forgot.
Farmer Brown's.
Oh yeah, out in Waterloo. That's right. We talked about
this. One of the greatest establishments from my childhood.
I still have never been there.
It's worth the trip. It is no frills, no high expectations, and a really good steakhouse.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I'm glad you're able to do that. I got to see the picture last night of all you guys out there. I was not a part of the CWS this year, but obviously, cheers to the people upstairs for making sure that the guys putting in the work during the CWS were taken care of. But last time we were on was Tuesday night. The 5 for 5 rule got approved overwhelmingly, uncontested before we came on air and we got to talk about it. But we didn't really talk about the local ramifications from it. Now, we discussed the possibility of what it would look like for Creighton if this got approved and what Josh Dix could do if he wanted to come back. He's obviously heading off to Oklahoma City and not going that route and taking the NBA route. But obviously, when it comes to Nebraska football, there's a really interesting prospect at the quarterback position in 2027 that's got 5 stars next to his name. And I thought it was really interesting yesterday when Sip was on with USC. Again, and Sip phrased this, so I want to point out that he said it that it was his opinion only, that he thought if Trey Taylor was on campus today, he would beat out Anthony Calandra for the starting position. Now, I think it's also important to point out neither one of those players have played a snap of football at Nebraska. So this may even be a moot argument, but we'll talk about it because this gives Anthony Calandra the ability to be in Lincoln for sure for another season. Now, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, the rich history of having a starting freshman be your quarterback in his first season without any prior college experience typically doesn't go all that well. There's a ton of data that would prove that. Even when you talk about the guy that's the head coach in Lincoln right now, and Matt Rhule, and his philosophy on the way he made Baylor successful and the way he made Temple successful was he started a true freshman at quarterback, got them all the reps in the world, and then had them be a 3-year starter. And that ended up working out really well for a couple of different teams, right? So is there a benefit to having a freshman quarterback starting? Yes, eventually, in theory and sometimes in practice, but the way that the recruiting cycle and the transfer portal and everything currently works is a little conducive to make sure that can happen. Now, I would be a little surprised if there was a promise to Trey Taylor about being the starter day one because of the Dylan Raiola situation, how that went. And I don't think Matt Rhule's big on on promising anybody anything before they ever walk in the door. And it doesn't kind of feel like Trey Taylor needs that. He just seems to be all in on Nebraska no matter what up until this point.
No, yeah, the way he's described it. I mean, he obviously has never gone into here's the bag that they threw at me.
Sure.
But he has stated, Texas A&M and LSU both were ready to back up the truck in front of my house and dump out a, giant load of money. But I came down to Nebraska and saw their facilities, heard their sales pitch, and was wowed by that. And the money, the money's not a factor in my decision-making whatsoever.
The other part of that equation is the guy that's currently already on campus and is the former Mountain West Player of the Year. And I think a lot of people would hope that Trey Taylor could grab the reins, come in and take over this offense day one and be the future for the next, hopefully just 3 years, but possibly longer. Now, the guy that's going to play quarterback this year is going to have a lot to say about what next year looks like, good, bad, or indifferent, because if he comes in and has a decent to good season, he's probably your starter next season, a year from now.
Yeah.
If he has a UNLV-esque season, he's probably going to the NFL. Mm-hmm. And that's probably best case for everybody. It's you have a Trey Taylor, a TJ Latif, or you have a Trey Taylor, TJ Latif, and a Danny Kaelin if everybody chooses to come back next year, sitting in your locker room. So you have the experienced veterans in Latif and Kaelin that have the ability, the experience in the system, starting experience at the Power 5 level, and the up and coming incumbent in Trey Taylor that's going to push those guys and on paper has more talent. Now that's best case scenario. And the unknowns of this football season leave so much room for the top end and the bottom end of everything. Is if it goes really, really well, you're also going to lose a really, really good quarterback.
Yeah.
And then have some perennial unknowns to some degree. You don't have a single guy in that room that has started an entire season anywhere, but you do have guys that have started games at the Power 4 level and a 5-star quarterback. Now, I think that is the path easiest for Trey Taylor to come in to be the starter day one, because if Anthony Calandria comes in and it goes okay, or maybe a little less than okay, but wins the starting job next fall, there is going, like you thought the Latifis were in full force this year, and a lot of people, listen, the most popular guy on the team is the backup quarterback. Yeah. The backup quarterback's a 5-star prospect. It gets even louder. So I don't want to say that we're going to have a quarterback controversy at this point, but I think one guy and one guy alone has the ability to quiet that entire conversation. It's Anthony Calandria himself.
Well, and I would caution you. I would caution me. I would caution all of Husker Nation.
We'll caution Dave. Dave, if you're listening, we caution you.
Please be cautioned. Don't put the cart before the horse.
Sure.
Because, number one, we have put the cart before the horse before.
Many a time.
Remember Dylan Raiola? We put that cart way before that horse and said, this is the guy. This is the savior. This is who is going to change our program. And then, positive or negative, no matter what in general happened, something got soured.
Yeah.
We don't know what it was. Maybe it was just the fact that Dylan said, all right, I gave you my 2 and I did the best that I could. And unfortunately, my knee didn't hold up.
It was his leg, but same thing.
Knee is part of your leg.
Famously.
It's a fun fact.
It was his lower leg bone.
Some would call it the elbow of the knee.
Some would. Or the elbow of the leg. I got to put it down.
But the fact that he walked away, and I think a lot of people are going to feel that sour taste in their mouth and are going to sort of put that onto the Trey Taylor situation and say, well, we can't treat Trey the way that we treated Dylan.
Do you think that's fair or unfair?
That we're going to...
Because I think you're right. I think most people are going to treat it like the Dylan Raiola situation.
I think it's unfair.
I do too.
Because, and again, I've harped on this enough, and I'll harp on it again right here, right now. Trey Taylor is not Dylan Raiola in the slightest.
Sure. Very different players.
In the fact that, yes, they are extremely different players. Trey is wildly more mobile just out of high school as it stands now.
See that 7-on-7 video? It's trending.
Seems to have an arm that is slightly less live than Dylan's was,
Okay.
which is fine because he can get it done with his legs. And slightly less live is like 60 versus 70
Sure.
yards when you're just bombing it downfield. And the point that I've harped on the most, Trey has said from the get-go, once he made his commitment that he's like, I want to be here. There are a lot of people who want me to be other places, but I want to be a Nebraska Cornhusker. He has moved to this state.
Yeah.
He lives in the same town that his university is in now. He is going to play high school football in Nebraska. There should be something that is said about we can pump the brakes a little bit and maybe cut this kid a little bit of slack. If next year he shows up on campus and he's not the day one starter because of Anthony Calandria being good, Danny Kalen or TJ Lateef beating him out for the job, I think it's a good thing if he's not the starter right away. I want him to be the starter right away. Do not get me wrong. I am fully on the Trey Taylor hype train.
We're never going to get the 100% honest answer to this question, but I would be really interested with this coaching staff, Glenn Thomas, Dana Holgerson, Matt Rule, fly on the wall, of how much they're maybe a little gun shy about starting him day one, because the thing on Facebook or not on Facebook, on Twitter for a little while was you don't want to be Dylan Raiola at Nebraska. Like it almost became a noun, right?
Yeah.
And it was an adjective, by the way, not a noun. You know what I meant. Anyway,
yeah, I did.
It was there can be a stigma placed around a place where, quote, quarterbacks go to die, essentially. And I'm not saying that is the case with Nebraska, but if you get 2 5-star prospects, same head coach, and Matt Rule is still the same head coach at the end of Trey Taylor, this is time in Lincoln, and it doesn't work out for him, that is going to be the stigma around this program. And it doesn't matter if the offensive coordinator, the quarterback coaches change. If Matt Rule's the face of this program when that happens and it doesn't work out, that is going to be the notation around the program. And right, wrong, or different. But with that being said, there's always the glass half full association where if it does turn out that Trey Taylor comes in and is the goods, that you get to pitch that to the next 5-star guy of, listen, look what this group of guy was able to do with the right 5-star quarterback. And there's a lot of reasons it probably didn't work out for Dylan and Lincoln. And I'm not saying the coaching staff is responsible or isn't, but the conception around this program, if it doesn't work out, maybe even if Trey Taylor's not the starter day one, is they can't develop guys. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's going to be the perceived perspective of this program. But again, you have to find a way, and it's the reason that these guys get paid the money they do, is find a way to compartmentalize it and make it about a year in, year out basis and play the best possible player that gives you a chance to win at that time. And I think now, maybe more than any other time in football, that is so important because you just don't know who's going to be here in a year.
Yeah, well, so 5 years down the road, I'm hoping for obviously the best case scenario because I'm not a sicko and I like the football team that is actually in my home state and I enjoy their successes. But 5 years down the road, I would really like to hear from Dylan Raiola just to know exactly what was wrong. And was it a change for him or was it a change for Matt Rule? Because right now, the fact that is sort of up in the air and we don't really know why Dylan left specifically from his point of view, I think is what's rubbing me the wrong way the most out of that whole situation.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I can understand that perspective. I don't think I need to know the answer to that. I understand why you feel that way and why some people may want that, but no matter what the answer is to that question, he left. Right?
More importantly than Jimmy, I hope that Matt Rule knows the answer to that question.
Would you be amazed if he didn't? I mean, there's probably a mutual understanding to why, right? And that could be good or bad.
But that's kind of the roadmap right now that Matt Rule has to, okay, this is why it didn't work out with the first 5-star quarterback who is supposed to be the one to save this program. And obviously there are a lot of other factors around Dylan Raiola in general that probably play into the reason that he left, the reason that there wasn't the kind of success that people thought that there should have been. But at the same time, isn't there just like a little part of you that says if he doesn't get hurt in that Minnesota game,
he's probably still here?
What does that look like? He's probably still here.
Well, they win that. Well,
I would bet
he got hurt in the USC game, not the Minnesota game.
It's same colors.
Everybody got hurt in the Minnesota game, including the people watching. But I don't like here. I want to paint the picture. Let's say it's the worst possible scenario you could think of why Dylan left. Let's say it's the worst. Or it's the best.
Who's pregnant?
Scenario. No, not even that. I'm like he was treated poorly, or he felt treated poorly, or he did something to be dismissed, or what, like whatever you can think of as the worst possible scenario. And think about the best part. Okay, it just didn't work out, and they decided to mutually part ways, and it was truly a decision on both sides. They come out and tell you either one of those scenarios. Are you believing them, good or bad? I think I think a lot of people,
because you have to.
I think a lot of people would come out and go, "Yeah, but what really happened?" You know, so let's play both sides here. Let's say Dylan comes out and says, "Oh, I didn't get what I was promised," or "They told me this," or "They told me that," or you know, "They weren't going to retain my uncle," or whatever you want to say. There would be a contingency of people out there who would say, "Yeah, but what did you do?" Or if Matt Rule came out and said, "We couldn't come to a mutual decision with Dylan Raiola, and he was a prima donna," or what? Like again, these are just hypotheticals, and we're throwing it out there. There would be those people out there that would go, okay, but why didn't you treat him right because he's a 5-star guy? Or why couldn't you do more to keep him here because he's a legacy? You see what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants the truth. Sometimes just the, hey, he just left and now we're moving on conversation is best for everybody. Because we can speculate. We can sit here and say, well, we don't know this and we don't know that. Us not knowing is probably better for everybody, fans, coaches, and player included. So I don't necessarily have a problem with them. Would I love the answer to that? Would I love the truth serum answer to that? Yeah, absolutely. But that, like, we talked about this with the Trey Taylor comment about not ever losing to Iowa again, right? Like, is it always best to probably not say anything? Sure. Do we want more? Absolutely. And we're going to give you more on the other side of the break. We come back. Nebraska has chosen its 3 representatives at Big Ten Media Days. We'll get into who that is and why they may or may not have been the right choice. We'll tell you on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone. If you missed this segment, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. You about to be a groom this summer? You going to be a best man? Does the guy you're getting standing next to that is getting married have no idea where to get a wedding suit from? We got the answer for you. 78th and Dodge is the place for you. Jerry Ryan's been dressing grooms in the Omaha area for over 50 years. And they can take care of you on the biggest day of your life as well. Stop by Jerry Ryan, 78th and Dodge. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Which 3 Huskers are heading to Big Ten Media Days? We'll tell you on the side of the break. 1620 Zone.
Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Cloudy this evening, a little cool for summertime. Temperatures in the low 70s and maybe a sprinkle or two. Cloudy tonight, a chance of a light shower, a low around 63. Mostly cloudy Friday morning, but then partly sunny Friday afternoon with a high near 80. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Signovation is your MVP. At Signovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit SignovationOmaha.com today.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Broadmoor at Hardwood Preserve, Omaha's most up-and-coming community, is now leasing. Choose from studio, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartment homes featuring timeless style and exceptional attention to detail. With elevated interiors, upscale amenities, and an unmatched social scene right outside your door, each feature is crafted for ultimate comfort, convenience, and sophistication. Whether you're unwinding at home or enjoying all the vibrant community has to offer, every day is sure to feel like a getaway. Visit broadmoor.cc today to make Hardwood Preserve home.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$6:25 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking to find the ideal college experience for you this fall, head over to bellevue.edu, register for classes, become a Bruin tonight. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's Dan Campion here on 1620 The Zone. Nebraska has decided which 3 players it is sending to Big Ten Media Days, and I found it really, really interesting for a couple of reasons. A, you have 2 offensive players and 1 defensive player. Now, Matt Rule, being a defensive-minded head coach, kind of tends to lean the other way when it comes to decisions like this and sending more defensive players in the past, and typically likes to let those guys lead this group. But the players he's sending is Justin Evans Jenkins and Luke Lindenmeyer from the offense, as well as Andrew Marshall from the defense. Now, it's interesting for a couple of reasons. A, obviously no quarterback, no Anthony Calandry in that situation. But B, you can really make the argument that if Nebraska is going to take a large step forward offensively this year outside of the quarterback position, those 2 guys may be directly responsible for that happening in Evans and Lindenmeyer. Specifically, Luke Lindenmeyer in the red zone. Now, Nebraska got down to the red zone a ton last year. They had a lot of success between the 20s in last year's offensive output. It was once they got past that 20-yard line where the problems rolled in. And a lot of that is because after week 5, you didn't really get a whole lot of productivity out of the tight ends. Now, that was kind of like they also had enough productivity out of Ja'Cory Barney and Isaiah Hunter and screen plays and being able to break passes or break plays open in the first 5 games of the season to where you had some pretty long catch and runs for touchdowns. Now, would everybody love that? Absolutely. But in close games where Nebraska really over the last decade and almost decade and a half has struggled is in those close, tight-knit games where if you need a touchdown in the last 4 minutes of a game, you get down to the red zone and you turn the ball over, or you just sputter out offensively, it becomes a problem. And now that is where I think Anthony Colandrea specifically benefits this offense the most, because if a play does break down, you mentioned a minute ago, Dan, about Dylan Raiola's arm being so live. A lot of times it was too live. I mean, how many guys did he miss on deep throws continuously and in the back of the end zone, just having too strong of an arm and not being able to put enough touch on the ball? And a lot of that comes with the lack of experience and having to do it in those situations in high pressure games. Now, the caveat to that is if Anthony Colandrea doesn't feel comfortable or it's not there to do that, he has the ability to make a play with his legs and creates a little bit more space in this offense to make plays. Now, if you got a big, reliable tight end that can go climb the ladder, go up and get it, or just be a big body for you in a tight window, that helps a ton. You got an offensive line that Dana Holgorsen said he felt like the strength of this offense a year ago was just being able to lean on teams and run Emmett Johnson in zone situations and pick the right place to be and make plays happen. The center position last year was a big reason for that. And, the fact that we didn't talk about Justin Evans really at all last year is the best compliment you can give to an offensive line.
Yeah, and that's why I love that Justin Evans is going, because and some teams, I know it's different, but as the center on the offensive line, you are in charge.
Yep.
It is you actually have the probably biggest responsibility outside of the quarterback in the offense, because you are calling out protections and you're making sure that everyone on your line knows exactly what's going on. So I love the fact, number one, that Justin Evans is going in general, but I like that they're sending him because he is very eloquent and he's very much on the same page that Dana Holgorsen is with how he thinks that this offense should run. You could hear it last year whenever he would address the media.
That's a great point.
He's very much on brand with Dana Holgorsen and Husker football as it stands right now.
Well, and there's been a lot of talk about Paul Mbunga and Brandon Black and Trey Babalade being added to this offensive line. I think the reason it is being looked at as those guys being such great additions is because that's what they are. Is they're additions to the things that have already complemented by the offensive line guys that are coming back this year. And if you noticed, I named 3 guys there, which means there's only 2 guys left. And Justin Evans being really the biggest proponent of that all. And obviously there is the Jeep weight of it all. And we'll talk to Brian Munson about that later in the show.
Jeep weight?
But
God, it's such a great name.
It really
I'm not going to get tired of that.
Specifically for an offensive line coach too. But the Andrew Marshall choice is really interesting to me because what you just mentioned a minute ago with Holgorsen, like how many times do we hear, not even just by his position coach or Matt Rule, guys bringing up Andrew Marshall doing things the right way?
Yeah.
And from an on the field and off the field standpoint, I think he's going to be a massive contributor to this team. I also there was a lot of conversations about who the leader of that defense was last year. And I know there were a lot of people that felt that Malcolm Hartzog not playing last year was going to help this defense. I don't know if you could talk about how big of a leader he was off the field and from a coach's standpoint on the sideline last year. I think Malcolm Hartzog is a really good football player, and I think he is going to be sorely missed this year, as I felt at times he was last year. But for that not to be the case, you need a guy like Andrew Marshall to step up and fill that role, and I think he's going to. I don't know if it'll be seamless, but I think it will be. He will be a really nice compliment from a leadership standpoint this year. We got to get to the Millard South softball team. Head coach Taylor Figge is waiting to join us here with her players in just a minute. We'll be back with the Patriots on the other side of the break. If you missed this segment, maybe you don't know who's heading to Big Ten Media Days for Nebraska football. Find out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com tonight. It was brought to you by Timber Wood Fire Bistro, right in the heart of Omaha, right off 91st and Pacific Timber is a place where the food keeps you coming back, but the atmosphere makes you never want to leave. An open concept cooking kitchen where you can see your pizza come right out of the wood fire oven directly to your table. Stop by Timber. Try the Timber pie. It's my personal favorite. You're not going to be disappointed. Perfect combination of sweet, savory, and deliciousness. Stop by Timber Woodfire Bistro tonight. We're talking Millard South Patriots softball on the other side of the break, 16-20 zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Bob Williams with Williams Law. You usually hear Bob in here every week talking about the big-time legal problems facing the sporting world. He's on vacation this week, so give him a little bit of a break. But if you do need legal help, Williams Law is the answer for you. Head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. You're going to get a free, no-obligation legal consultation. Bob and his team are going to sit you down, explain your rights, get you ready for your big day in court. Make sure you tell them that After Hours sent you.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot field house featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here.
Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8, and every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Car's incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday.
Rail Car Modern American Kitchen.
144th and Blondo.
There's enough needless nonsense in the world already. Your phone plan shouldn't add to it. Verizon's new Simplicity plan cuts down on the nonsense in your life. Now there's just one plan, one price, $30 a line per month, even for a single line. And everyone gets our best 5G network. It's a phone plan designed to do exactly what a phone plan is supposed to do. Isn't that a lot simpler? Switch today at Verizon.com or at your nearest store. For new customers, $30 per line includes auto pay and switch discount. Additional taxes, fees, and terms apply. Unlimited data is restricted to on-device smartphone usage. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds.
You are listening to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
It's 6:35 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone, brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu. Register for classes. No schooling on Friday. The majority of your classes online and live sports right on campus. Check out bellevue.edu for more details tonight. We got big timed on Tuesday by the softball team. They couldn't be here and made excuses. We'll let them slide. Taylor Fegley, the head coach at Millard South, the softball program, joins us tonight. She's brought Kaylee Mayer and Cindy Zhang with them tonight. We'll get the players in a minute. Coach, I'm sorry for spelling your name wrong, but I appreciate it.
It's okay.
I put it in my phone wrong. That's 100% on me. But I want to talk about your guys' program. We got to catch up with you last year and learned a lot about this program. We often hear coaches and players talk about identity or culture. For somebody who's never seen you guys play softball, What would you say the identity of Millard South softball is?
I think we really focus on like a team first culture. We really talk about like what we can do to better the team. So if that's like sacrificing ourselves at the plate to move a runner or to score a run, we're going to take that opportunity. We also have a kind of a quirky bunch, so we like
Sure.
to have fun in the dugout, and we seem to be play our best ball when we're having fun.
As somebody that's called a number of softball games in my life, I don't think anybody that's ever watched the game appreciates how much energy that can come
Yep.
from a dugout.
Yeah.
And whether it be a chant, a song, both sometimes.
Mhm.
How much do you encourage that type of behavior from your dugout?
Always. I'm always telling them, to give the life, support your team. We're always telling them to, give that energy out. Like, hey, so and so needs that support right now. Let's show her that support.
You can name drop if you want to, but is there a parent that usually leads the charge if the dugout's a little quiet?
Not really.
Okay.
Our dugout
Not a problem that they have, huh?
No, our dugout's usually pretty
Sure.
pretty lively.
This squad was 500 a year ago, 17-17 season. What was good that we can make portable to the 26-27 year? And what are some hurdles that you had last year that you don't expect to have this season?
Well, I think that our lineup 1 through 9 had some good pop in it. I think this year we're adding some stronger bats and some more speed to our lineup. So I'm really excited to see how that's all going to come together and watch it come together. I feel like we're losing 2 really senior pitchers in the circle.
Yeah.
And it's going to be how we overcome that. So we have a lot of new arms that are ready and eager to take that and fill those shoes. Just finding the right rotation that's going to put our team first and team success.
You lose those 2 senior pitchers, but also you lose 4 more along the way. 6 seniors leaving the squad from a year ago. You have 2 with you tonight. We're going to talk to them in a minute. But how does the leadership dynamic, maybe in the dugout and off the field, change for this team this year?
Just at Millard South, our culture is that we lead by example, and I feel like it doesn't really matter the grade they're in. We've had girls that have led their freshman year, so we encourage our seniors to be our leaders. But like Kaylee and Cindy, like they have led for like the last few years, and we don't, we lead by example and on and off the field. And I think our leadership's going to be in good hands this year.
Obviously, there's the dynamic of softball in the state that everybody plays club also.
Yeah.
I think even players that don't play in high school play club to some degree. How do you kind of manage expectations in the offseason for your players while they are playing club ball and sometimes mostly a different system? How do you kind of work that way?
So we kind of talk about how, club ball is club ball and how Millard South runs things. That's how Millard South runs it. So
Sure.
if, we run cutoffs or different plays differently, when you're in your Patriot jersey, that's how we do things.
Sure.
We just encourage our girls to go out there and compete the best they can at the high level, because that's overall going to help us at Millard South.
Do you, and this is probably different on a year in year out
Mhm.
basis and different with player basis. Do you often find that sometimes there is that, I don't know, maybe learning curve is the wrong word, but adjustment to when they are coming out of a different system into your system on a year in year out basis?
Yeah, and even from Coach Kirkman into my system, I feel like
Sure.
that was been a change. But I feel like every team runs things a little bit differently or calls signs a little differently, and getting that practice time and really being coachable really helps with learning the systems.
We've seen this, I don't know if explosion is the right phrase, but a growth in women's sports across the board. Whether it be the Caitlin Clark effect, the Jordy Ball effect around here, or the growth of Nebraska volleyball, whatever, but it's on a national basis. How have you seen that kind of affect your numbers for kids that are coming out? Is that something you guys are seeing quite often?
Yeah, I think more girls are now wanting to start softball at a younger age, which is great. I feel like we used to have girls that, wanted just to start playing when they came into high school. But now I feel like we have girls that have been playing for longer and are more developed that are, coming into high school are already having experience at a high level.
I'm not looking for an exact science, but do you have a reason or a thought on why that might be the case?
I think it's just because, like you said, women's sports is more televised. now.
Okay, sure.
They're
Yeah,
seeing
good
that
point.
example. A lot of boys see the baseball and they want to be those MLB players. Like,
Sure.
Now we have that on the softball level.
Okay. Well, Coach, thank you very much for being here tonight and bringing these guys in. We'll talk to them. Kayla, go ahead and step up and grab the microphone. Kayla Myers with us tonight as well. What do you think has been your biggest growth from your junior campaign through this summer heading into your senior campaign?
Definitely my confidence, but that's also not just something that was just from junior to senior year. That's been something I've been growing since my freshman year. And as a freshman, I wasn't as confident, but that's something that's grown to my senior year. And I feel like I have that confidence to make a play. Know my team is behind me. My coach trusts me. My team trusts me. And just being able to go out there and play my heart out.
I love talking to catchers about this because I don't think anybody else kind of understands They think the pitcher kind of runs the show. They don't understand how much you're doing behind the plate. But you don't just get it done behind the plate. You get it done at the plate as well. What's better for you when your pitcher's in the zone, you're having a great defensive out, or when you knock a couple over the fence?
I gotta say both. I mean, I love catching a pitcher who is, just playing her heart out. I love being able to buy a strike for her just to get the momentum going and know that the defense is behind her, but also being able to hit a home run.
Sure.
Just being able to, that's something you never forget, just being able to help your team succeed and win.
Did you just insinuate that catchers sometimes frame pitches that shouldn't be strikes called a strike?
No.
Okay. I would never expect that
They're
to be
all
a thing.
strikes.
Great answer. Not something I told you I was going to ask you, but I'm interested in your thought on this. What is the most difficult part about playing the catcher position, in your opinion?
Sometimes just being a leader, because that's kind of expected of you to, be loud all times, carry your team, know where every play is supposed to happen. But that's, again, something that, I've learned my 4 years of, being in high school. And that's just like something, you
Well,
learn
you've only
as a
been there for
catcher.
3, so I
Will be 4.
Okay.
Will be 4.
Well, I didn't want to judge you. Maybe this is you red shirted. It's fine. You meant coach mentioned it a minute ago. You guys lose 2 senior pitchers from a year ago. How does your role change kind of in the developing of your younger pitchers that you're gonna have in the circle this year?
Well, like you said, I've caught those pitchers for 3 years. So now switching to a new pitcher, I'm just also trying to, get them comfortable in the circle, like let them know that I have their back, and just being able to throw a pitch maybe they're not so confident in, and just really building their experience in the game because they're newer to it, and just letting them build their confidence.
I love asking players this that play club, because there just does seem to be a difference in the way it's done. It's a different time of year. There's several different nuances. What are the biggest differences for you between playing club and playing at your high school level?
Well, besides obviously like the girls and the coaches, something I noticed that yes, you play a lot of positions in high school, but some of them really stick. Like my freshman year, I played outfield, but now my junior year, I caught most of the time.
You happy to be running less?
Oh yes, not a lot of running. But when you go to club, at least for my team, I'm in a new position like every 3 innings or every other game. And honestly, I really like both, because in high school, there's that one position I'm really confident in. I'm not afraid to, make plays, trust my team, be a leader. But in club, I get to grow in other positions, which is really good for college. Being able to play more than one position is good for you. And something other than that, when you play club, you don't really have any other priorities. But when you're in high school, you're also a student. And sometimes you have to put grades first to be able to play in high school. So that's a big difference.
Coach, if she shows up late to practice, it sounds like she'd love to play left field this year. Anyway, you mentioned it. You do have a 4th year of high school left to go.
There we go.
And then you're off to college. What does life after high school look like for you?
I hope to keep playing for the next until I'm done with college. I plan on getting a business degree, if any of y'all were wondering.
The dream school would be?
Honestly, I'm still open to anything.
Sure.
I'm just looking for a team that has a good culture, competitive, and somewhere that I can just fit in and continue what I've been doing since I was 8 years old.
I don't like you insinuating that I wasn't interested in what your major would be, but I'll let that slide. It's fine. Why do you want to be a business major?
There's a lot of opportunities in there, just in case something like doesn't work out. Business, you can go into, you can find a lot of careers.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on all the success up to this point. Good luck in your 4th year of high school, and we hope everything works out for you.
Thank you so much.
Cindy, go ahead and step up and grab the microphone. Cindy Zhang is with us tonight as well. Another question I like to ask players is getting to the different response to is what's something about high school softball that players in other sports and maybe non-athletes don't know about the game of softball that you love about the game?
I think it's a lot of pressure, honestly.
Sure.
But also, it's like a game of failure. You could do everything right, like you barrel up the ball and you hit that thing really hard, but it's just right to somebody, and it's all about picking yourself back up and trying to shake it off so that like the next at bat or the next play in the transition between innings, that it's like a new game. You flush it and you can't change anything about the past. So
it's a lot like baseball. You hit the ball 25% of the time, and you're a Hall of Famer. So
yeah. And it feels it's really hard to keeping yourself up when things go wrong all the time.
Sure.
But I think that just makes you stronger as a person, and it teaches you about life too.
Kaylee talked about it when we talk about the different positions you often play in club ball, but I think it'd be easier for me to list the positions you haven't played at this point.
I think I've played everywhere.
Yeah. Do you have a position that you prefer to play that you feel the most comfortable in?
The middle infield has I've always just lived there. I mean, I've been playing second for a long time, and then I tried short, but like on club I didn't play there that much. But then like this past high school season, the first position I played on varsity was first base. I've never played first base in my life. But I think it just gave you a new perspective. Like
Sure.
or like being in the infield is so awesome. Everything's fast and you get to make the cool plays that make everyone go like, "Whoa," like that's just crazy. And playing middle infield, you just show off the range. I think that's really awesome.
It is really strange how much different the game can look, completely different based on where you're standing. When we talk about the unique sides of softball, you've played the utility position. Can you talk about? Can you explain what the utility position is and how that kind of makes softball its own unique game in its own right?
I think like a true utility should be able to do everything.
Agreed.
Pitch, catch. I just think that's awesome. But
Is this your unique way of telling Kaylee you're coming for her job behind the plate? Okay.
No, I'm kidding. But it's really
we have to go to break, folks. A fight just broke out in student now.
No, you're good. You have to keep changing your mentality and know how you need to throw, where the next play is. It's really different because in the infield you got to be really fast, but in the outfield you have to track balls differently. You throw to bags. It's also a lot more running.
Sure.
Yeah, but
also a fan of that, huh? Yeah.
But like pitching and catching is definitely a different pressure because if you feel like you're not doing well, you run the game. And if you don't do well, then you feel really bad. And
that's important, by the way.
Yeah.
And your coach is very happy to hear you say that. We're catching up with the Millard South softball team here in studio. And we're catching up with Cindy Zhang. I want to ask, I want to change this question just a little bit because Kaylee talked about it, coaches talked about the growth of you guys as players. What is something, if you could go back to the freshman version of yourself, the piece of advice you would give her now heading into your senior year?
Oh dear.
About softball specifically.
About softball?
We don't need any dating advice or anything like that. We just want to let's stick to sports.
I'm not very experienced in that, so it's okay. Freshman year, kind of like repressed that year.
Most people do. There's something you've learned. If there's something you've learned about the game of softball over the last 3 years, whether it be through club, whether it be through your time at Millard South, that maybe you didn't necessarily know about the game heading into your freshman season.
You really gotta you have to compete for a spot. I mean, it's super competitive. You may feel like you're better than somebody, but you really have to take the time to go practice outside of team practice and go make yourself better, because if you really want that spot, you got to show that you want it. You can't just expect the coach to give it to you. And I think that was something in my freshman year that I kind of was like, oh, but I want to play here and stuff, but I just couldn't because they were better than me. So I had to go out and work at it a little bit more.
I got shamed a minute ago for not asking this. Are you planning on going to college? And if you are, what's your major?
I do want to go to college. I'll probably just go to UNO.
Okay.
And I was thinking either a bio or chem major.
Because?
I really kind of want to go the medicine route.
Sure.
Yes.
Any interest in playing softball at the next level?
I'm not really sure yet. I haven't quite decided. I mean, there's some colleges I'm looking at, but there's nothing in it's in the air, but nothing's set in stone yet.
Do you know how many different variations of softball shirts there are at Millard South?
A lot.
I was gonna say there's three different ones in the studio, so I was just curious. I don't know the answer.
No, you're good, because you like get one from freshman state, you get one for camp. You get a lot.
We're a little upset we didn't get any when you came in studio. It's fine. We won't hold that against you.
I have plenty to sell.
Great answer. We're catching up with the Millard South softball team. Taylor Fegley and her team are in studio with us tonight. Coach, we'll wrap this up with you. For this team to make a run to Omaha and get a chance to play in the state tournament and end up at Connie Clausen Field, what do they have to do this season?
That's the overall goal for everyone, is to make it to state, right? So I think by winning pitch by pitch every game, competing each pitch, that's what's going to make it there. So, not looking at the big picture, looking at the small picture, and how can we win each pitch? Is it, striking a batter out? Is it putting the ball in play, manufacturing a run? Just kind of the smaller goals to get the big goal.
Well, as always, it's a great time to catch up with you guys, and good luck this season. If you missed the Patriots segment tonight, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com tonight. It was brought to you by Mad Hatter Auto Repair. 2 great locations, one on 144th and Center, the other off Broadway in Council Bluffs. They're going to give you a 7-year, 77,000-mile warranty on any work they're doing on your vehicle. Get your car off the road, get it back even faster, and get the royal treatment from Mad Hatter Auto Repair at one of their 2 great locations tonight. We're going to find out what's trending on social media when we come back on 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Recon Pest Control. Listen, I've been working with Recon for the past 2 years. We've had to come out and spray a border around our house. We haven't had a creepy crawly or anything with more than 2 or 4 legs work its way into our house in over 2 years. If you want protection around your home like that you can count on, head over to ReconPestServices.com. Tell Ivan and the crew that we sent you over there. Mention After Hours. That'd be a special deal waiting for you. Check out ReconPestServices.com tonight.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Hours Lounge brought to you by Bellevue University. If you're looking for the ideal college experience this fall, head over to bellevue.edu and register for classes today. Dan Campen and Jimmy Allen with you here for the next hour and 5 minutes. Not a minute longer, not a minute sooner than that here on 1620 The Zone as Dan flips his camera around. And it's that time of night where we get to see Dan's beautiful face ask us beautiful questions.
Yep. And I also, of course, have to grab my microphone and I'm going to awkwardly talk into it.
We didn't know softball players were that tall.
Well, and, I will give it to him. Millard South Softball, I appreciate you for being like, hey, that's a bad camera angle and calling me out for it. So, I wish more high schoolers would do that.
They usually just get nervous that there's a camera in front of them and don't bother mentioning it. No nervousness from the Millard South girls.
None whatsoever. And speaking of not being nervous, there is one gal today who is, I would argue, or should at least be, a little bit nervous. Her name is Alyssa Thomas. here is exactly why she should be nervous. Yes, that is from last night's game, Indiana Fever versus the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Mercury.
Phoenix Mercury, sorry. Same, heavenly planetary bodies or whatever. Alyssa Thomas just straight up throat punched Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. We've passed the point of no return with the fact that the league hasn't really come out and talked about it or is like almost refusing to do so. She's not a rookie anymore. They're like, we're past the rookie hazing point. Like, I don't understand why this keeps happening. At some point it's got to be addressed. Like, why is there so much hatred for this player? Like, listen, there's a little bit of stiffness to Caitlin Clark too. I'm not trying to let her all the way off the hook here or say that she's not doing anything wrong. Or there maybe shouldn't be something said about her play as well. Because listen, she doesn't mind letting an elbow or two fly either. But there's got to be more than that at this point, right?
Yeah, well, so I guess I would almost call it the egregiousness of it.
Yeah, it's clearly flagrant.
It's like there have been multiple instances from the minute she got into the league until now.
Sometimes before she got in the league.
Where it is, I mean, she is getting pummeled. She's getting pushed. She's getting shoved. And again, to your point, it's not all her fault, but some of it is her fault because she's not unaccustomed to contact.
Yeah, I have no problem with receipts. Literally, like if it's happening on the other end and you're just giving it back and it's not necessarily outside of the whistles and it's not above the head or above the shoulders, I don't have a problem with it. This was like as you mentioned, a straight shot to the throat, and she's probably aiming for her jaw.
Yeah.
So they're not going to review this too, which I thought was really interesting. Like and trying to have further punishment for this foul. I was very surprised to hear that.
Yeah, the fact that she only got a 1-game suspension was a little bit wild to me. It just barely came down like an hour or two ago that she got just a single game suspension. And I mean, the wild thing to me about the WNBA is it's so small that you're going to see Alyssa Thomas
very soon.
6-7 more times this year, probably at minimum. So Caitlin and or someone else on that team eventually is going to, as the cool people say, get that lick back.
Hey, if you missed the social media soundbite tonight, check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tonight, it was brought to you by our friends at Allo Fiber. If you want internet you can count on, there's only one option. It's a 2-gig network all the way to your house. You don't have to worry about your network throttling down when your neighbors get home. You don't have to worry about your kids jumping on their iPad, your wife watching bad reality television and seeing slowness in your network. You need to check out allofiber.com/Husker Radio. Tonight, we buy or sell on several different topics in Dan Campenon's brain on the other side of the break. 1620 The Zone.
Get 2 months free this month at Ace Rent to Own. No credit checks are necessary to buy from us. And now, same as cash deals up to 12 months. Appliances, TVs, tires, furniture, mattresses, and even cell phones. Get the things you need now at Ace Rent to Own. And this month, get 2 months free.
If you're looking for an authentic Italian experience, look no further than Pasta Amore. For 4 decades, Pasta Amore has been keeping the spark alive for couples in the Omaha area with their homemade pasta, made fresh every day. Our hand-picked selection of exceptional wines will put the nightcap on your evening that you expect. Open every day at 4. Stop by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village and enjoy dining in a romantic dining room or relax on our shaded patio.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Signovation is your MVP. At Signovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo, to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit SignovationOmaha.com today. Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Signovation is your MVP. At Signovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo, to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit SignovationOmaha.com today.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Mornings at Early Bird have always been pretty great, and now they just got better. Come in from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. and grab your favorites for just $9.99, like the AM pot pie, biscuits and gravy, or the Early Bird with 2 eggs, meat, hash browns, and toast. Talk about the perfect way to start your day without breaking the bank. Oh, and there's Flocktail Hour. From 12:30 to 2:30, get 50% off all cocktails every day. Breakfast, brunch, or a midday pick-me-up. Early Bird. Not your everyday brunch, every day.
Twisted Thunder Fireworks is going to save you big money. You'll find the best variety at the lowest prices as you celebrate the country's 250th anniversary. They have an amazing assortment of red, white, and blue fireworks of all shapes and sizes. Check them out online at TwistedThunder.com, where you can watch all our items before you buy. Come see them at 156 in Blondo, Westroads, the Alley in Bellevue, and at Council Bluffs at Horseshoe Casino, as well as several other area locations. That's TwistedThunder.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Ins 8-1 exclusions apply.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Top of the second hour here at 1620 The Zone. I'm Jimmy Allen. That's Dade Kippen, and you are the night shift. Shout out to Jamie and everybody punching in for the night shift tonight. Weighing anything we're talking about on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter tonight. Dade Kippen has by herself for us.
Indeed, I do. Baseball. That's a sport that's happening right now.
Famously.
The new CBA is coming up, and the owners are once again trying to flex their muscles. This time by recommending a 5-year salary cap for free agent contracts. Buy or sell, this is even going to get a sniff by the Players Council.
It'll get sniffed and then thrown directly in the trash can. It kind of feels like at this point, we're trying to implement rules into baseball or changes into baseball because the pitch count clock went so well. And they're just trying to figure out what else can we do with this longevity, this game of longevity that hasn't had a whole lot of changes to it over the years. I know. Let's try this. Let's try that. Can we fix the salary cap? Do we introduce a luxury tax? They're going to try all of these things because sometimes it just feels like people in high positions are just trying to make changes for change's sake. I don't think this is going to last or come into fruition at any sense.
Yeah, I don't think, if they're smart, just in general, I don't think we're going to see any sort of edge made to free agency contracts. And I understand why they want to do it. It makes general sense to me, just considering the fact that if you are signing a player in free agency and only giving him a 5-year contract, that allows you to either A, renew his contract for a boatload more money to keep him there.
Correct.
And also gives another team the ability to say, all right, well, after year 3 or year 4 of that contract, that's not a lot of money that we have to buy out. So maybe we can get a Shohei Ohtani or a Mookie Betts.
Neither one of those players are leaving.
I know. They never will. Speaking of Shohei Ohtani and catchers, we just spoke to a catcher earlier.
We did.
Last night, Shohei had to call his own pitches against the Minnesota Twins when his backup catcher had to join him in the game. Buy or sell the Dodgers. Got to get it together.
Yeah, they for a team that has seemed so bulletproof for the last 5 to 6 years, maybe even longer than that, they've really kind of stumbled over their own feet throughout this season, and a lot of it has seemed to circle around Shohei Ohtani, and that could be because he is so incredible at everything he does that when there aren't players around him up to snuff or people can't match his level of greatness, it shows glaringly. But not having your backup catcher know one of your best pitchers' signals is very concerning to me.
It was a weird situation too, because every time Shohei would go back to the dugout,
it was wild to watch.
He was like trying to teach him the signals, and it was like, it's not really that hard for you to just, learn the 4 to 5 signals that you need for pitches in like.
Well, it's not like he throws that many either. You know what I mean? Like he's not like a 5-pitch guy. I don't know. It's very strange to me.
Yeah, it was
wild to watch.
It was a weird situation. Speaking of weird things, Brian Kelly is coming to a screen near you. The former LSU head coach is going to be calling games for the Mountain West on CBS. Buy or sell, the Cajun accent sticks around.
Sell. Hard sell. Wasn't a thing. Shouldn't have been there in the first place. Probably half the reason he got fired because he deserved to be because of it. With that being said, little surprised they're relegating him to Mountain West games. Like, seems like a face that you'd kind of want to put out in front of people. This tells you that his audition tape probably ain't that great. But I think he's going to be really good at TV. I think it's going to take him a little while to get there. I think he's got I don't think he's got a redeemable personality as a head coach, but I think he will be a likable personality over time if he chooses to stay in TV. With that being said, I think he'll be on somebody's sideline next season.
I would generally agree with that final sentiment. I don't know why you would even want to touch Brian Kelly with a 10-foot pole if you're a TV network. I understand that he's a former head coach of 2 extremely lauded programs, and he brings that head coach knowledge of football into the booth. But
Got a very punchable face.
I said Brian Kelly is coming to a screen near you. If you're watching Mountain West football games, good for you, and I appreciate your dedication to college football, but I'm not going to be seeing any of Brian Kelly because I don't generally seek out Mountain West football.
I think it says a lot about what you can expect from him, that the fact that that's where that he got placed. Is that the last one, or we got one more?
One more, and it's a good one. The NCAA is finally doing something right. They unanimously voted to allow FCS teams making the transition to FBS immediately available for the postseason. That means bowl games and possibly the CFP this year for North Dakota State and Sacramento State. Buy or sell, this is a great step by the NCAA.
That's my first round of applause I've ever given to the NCAA. It never made sense. If they're able to make the jump and you're going to allow them to participate in said sport, they should automatically qualify for the postseason. You can't punish somebody because you approved them to move up to your level of said sport. It never made any sense. It's a severely outdated process, and I'm really excited for North Dakota State specifically to see what they can do from a splash standpoint in their first season at this level. I think Sacramento State's going to take a little while, if ever, to get to that level. But listen, how incredible would it be if we see North Dakota State have the similar type of success we see them have at the lower level and make the college football playoff in their very first attempt?
I'd be really happy.
I think a lot of people would. I think there's going to be a lot of people rooting for that.
I'm just so happy that the NCAA actually finally made a good and consequential decision that I don't think anyone can have a problem with. But if I've ever known anything about the NCAA, it's that someone will take umbrage with this for some reason. Looking at you, James Madison, most likely. I'm just gonna go
fair enough.
dart the
accurate.
dartboard there.
That checks.
But yeah, I'm glad that we're gonna get to see these teams now that transition from FBS to FCS actually be eligible for specifically bowl games. Because I always thought it was weird that if you are a program that can make that jump and thinks that you are good enough and big enough to do so, why aren't you getting a dipstick at the end of that year? If you have a great first year in the FBS as a former FCS program, you should be allowed to play against a Power 4, Power 5 other school and say, okay, this is how we stack up against an Auburn, a Kentucky, a smaller school from one of the major conferences that maybe isn't as good at football and didn't make the college football playoff.
Well, Brian, you said you're not going to seek out Mountain West football. You're going to see Brian Kelly calling a bunch of North Dakota State games because that's the conference that they joined. So not so fast, Dan. If you missed our buy or sell segment, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Tonight is brought to you by Mad Hatter Auto Repair. With certified technicians, they'll get the job done right the first time. You don't have to worry about having peace of mind about your vehicle because not only was it done right, they're going to guarantee their work. 7 years, 77,000 miles of a warranty on any work done by Mad Hatter under your hood. 2 great locations, 144th and Center right off Broadway in Council Bluffs. Get off the road quick. Get back on even faster. Head over to Mad Hatter Auto Repair and give your car the royal treatment tonight. Is it something? Is it nothing? We debate on the other side of the break. 6 Twin Zone.
Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Cloudy this evening, a little cool for summertime. Temperatures in the low 70s and maybe a sprinkle or two. Cloudy tonight, a chance of a light shower, a low around 63. Mostly cloudy Friday morning, but then partly sunny Friday afternoon with a high near 80. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
Are you ready to put your business in the starting lineup? Whether you need eye-catching storefront signage, bold seasonal window graphics, or yard signs for your summer campaign, Signovation is your MVP. At Signovation, your brand shows up and wins. From lighting up the Omaha night sky with your logo to making sure your message jumps out of the grass and grabs your ideal customer's attention, we've got you covered. Don't sit on the bench. Get in the game. Visit SignovationOmaha.com today.
It's 3 a.m. The last episode's over, and you're exhausted and triumphant. The next episode is calling. Sleep is for quitters. Allo Fiber keeps every binge streaming till sunrise. No buffering, no lag, just smooth streams. Can your internet provider do that? Stream it like you mean it at allofiber.com/all-in.
At Timber, they don't just give you a place to go for lunch or dinner. They give you an experience. From their bold, smoky flavors prepared in the open concept kitchen where you get to watch the magic happen to the relaxing umbrella-shaded patio. There's something for everyone at Timber. Join them for brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9:30 to 2, plus happy hour from 2 to 5:30 Monday through Saturday, and 2 to close on Sunday. Timberwood Fire Bistro in the heart of Omaha at 84th and Pacific.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot fieldhouse featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-374-0758 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-374-0758. That's 800-374-0758. What do you have to lose? Call 800-374-0758. Again, 800-374-0758.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:20 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen and Dan Campion with you. It's time for Something or Nothing. Topics around the sporting world. Is there something to them? Is there nothing to them? Smoke, but no fire. Fire with little smoke. We'll talk about it. If you have any topics for us, let us know on the night shift. Let us know on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or give us a call, 402-951-1620, or you can find us at After Hours 1620 on socials. Dan, I want to start with you because we talked last week about the shortcomings of all things Minnesota sports with Julius Randle departing from Minnesota.
Yes.
But I read an article today and I think it was from The Athletic. Let me check my source in a second here, but talking about going all in on the Anthony Edwards era, despite that news, because today, obviously, your T-Wolves acquire LaMelo Ball as well as Josh Green. But does it feel to you like the Minnesota Twins and what they've done over the Timberwolves, what they have done over the past couple of weeks is to go all in on the Anthony Edwards era? Something or nothing?
Something. It's a big old something. It's so hard to argue it right now because I'm like, yeah, we got LaMelo Ball and that's good.
Or is it good?
Because he's still, in general, fairly young. He's not the aging superstar of it all, but when you think about the Minnesota squads and so what they got rid of in Naz Reid.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Granted, not a tremendously prolific scorer, not a like assist machine or anything like that crazy on offense.
A good piece. He's a good piece.
He is a great defensive piece. And a lot of times when Rudy Gobert just didn't have it against the opposing team center, you throw Naz Reid in there and he's the exact opposite of Rudy Gobert. And he plays hard perimeter to baseline defense. And to say that, well, we got rid of him for LaMelo Ball, a man who is mostly known on the offensive end for his flashy scoring and wanting to play iso ball as much as possible, that is a scary thing to me. I'm very much thinking that they're trying to contribute to Anthony Edwards and trying to play to his strengths and basically drag the ball away from him as much as they possibly can so that he can work in the open court and be a spot up 3-point shooter and get the ball and drive off the wing at some point in time during the game. But to me, right now, you just basically said, oh, Anthony Edwards is friends with Julius Randle. We're going to get rid of him. Oh, he's really close with Naz Reid and they've developed a pretty good bond over the last year. Naz Reid is a Minnesota Timberwolves favorite. That's what bothered me the most is I was like, you traded away everyone's favorite player.
Beloved by that fan base. I agree.
So it's baffling to me what they're trying to do right now.
It feels like they're trying to go all in at a discounted price. I think there's something to it. I think they're making an effort and just trying something different because the combination of the three guys in the middle didn't work last year, to your point, and seeing what they can do differently at making it look like they're trying to do something at a discounted price.
It's best explanation that I've heard.
The U.S. plays tonight. Men's national team plays in the World Cup. They're already 2-0, already qualified for the round of 32. Don't really need this game to go any sort of way. Is it something or nothing if the U.S. loses tonight?
I would say that it's nothing. Probably going to be a lot of guys resting up. I would assume you're going to see a lot of the second squad kind of guys playing in this game, at least in the second half, because they know that they've got the round of 32 locked up, and that's enough for them at this point. You're really just playing for seeding position.
There would be a lot of countries that I would tend to agree with you. The U.S. is not one of the. I think they have to win. I think it is imperative for them to win tonight. Obviously, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm talking about it from a confidence standpoint. I think it's something if they lose because this team right now is playing with house money and has not had a blemish on its record since the World Cup started. Having that in your back pocket going into the round of 2 and feeling really high and confident about your team and your possibility of advancing past that round of 32, I don't know if you can put a value on that. If they lose tonight, I definitely think it's something. I think they have to win a meaningless game tonight, which feels really weird to say.
It does, yeah.
They play at 9, so if you're looking for the U.S. World Cup match, check it out at 9 o'clock tonight. Shohei kind of got a flashback last night. We talked about it a little bit ago with the pitching situation and his catcher not knowing his signals. But he had to feel like he was in a different LA jersey last night because really not even just last night, this whole weekend. Let me give you his stat line from his time playing against your Twins this weekend, Dan. 8 strikeouts, 2 hits, and an RBI. And the Dodgers get swept by your Minnesota Twins.
No.
Was that not this weekend? Is that last weekend?
That might have been last weekend because they kept.
Sorry, yes, that was the previous series. I apologize.
All 3 nights against the Twins, they kept them to 3 runs, and it was 6-3, 4-3, and then they won last night 12-3. Or no, 6, 12, 4.
Yeah, but they got swept, right?
The Twins got swept.
That's what I was.
They got swept in the series before.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
They swept the Twins. I apologize. So is it something or I read that wrong. I'm sorry. Is it something or nothing that despite the funk that we talked about a minute ago with the pitching mishap, that Shohei still shows out, they still sweep the Twins and absolutely dominate the series?
I'm going to say the slump that he had before, that's nothing. This is still baseball where if you are a 300 hitter, you're considered one of the greatest baseball players of all time. And Shohei has already done enough in the early stages of his career to sort of prove
That's a good point.
that he is one of the greatest baseball players of all time. I think it's just a minor slump, and he kind of does have a little bit of the problem sometimes of the doing both.
You know what I think is really interesting? We're not really having the conversation about Shohei that we've had about all of the greats at this point in his career, like with LeBron, with Kobe, with Michael, whoever you with Mariano Rivera, whoever you want to talk about. The conversation of has Shohei Ohtani passed his prime isn't even remotely being discussed. This guy just doesn't seem, despite all the betting accusations and everything that has happened throughout his career, there doesn't ever seem to be that conversation of, well, is he going to slow down anytime soon? Because outside of the elbow injury, it doesn't really seem like it's coming anytime in the near future.
No, he's still in prime position.
If you missed Something or Nothing this weekend, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. Tonight it was brought to you by Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Are you ready to celebrate America's birthday? You got gear for it? If you're looking for the most comfortable gear you could find for the Big Bash on the 4th, you need to head over to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. Great brands like Mizzen Main, Johnny O, Peter Millar, all with Americana sprinkled into it for this 4th of July season. Head over to Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear. They've been dressing Omaha for over 50 years. Kind of feels like Brian Munson's been covering Husker recruiting for 50 years. Not quite that much, but we're going to catch up with him and get his thoughts on everything Jeep Wade and the crew has been able to reel in to Nebraska football recruiting. We come back at 1620 The Zone. Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here for Allo Fiber. Football season is rapidly approaching, and if you dealt with buffering circles all over your television last year and you didn't work with a company like Allo or DirecTV and you had problems with your service, we've got the solution for you. Allo Fiber is the official TV, internet, and mobile provider of the Huskers. They can be your official provider as well. All you have to do is head over to allofiber.com/Husker Radio tonight. Get out of the Stone Age. Get a 2 gig network directly to your house with an all-fiber connection. Check out allofiber.com for more details tonight.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
Wedding season's here, and Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear has been trusted for over 50 years to help you look your best. Whether you're the groom or part of the wedding party, Jerry Ryan can outfit every man in the wedding from head to toe. From custom suits and sport coats to dress shirts, shoes, and accessories, their experienced team will help make sure everyone looks their absolute best on the big day. Visit Jerry Ryan Clothing and Sportswear at 78th and Dodge today, where Omaha's best-dressed men have shopped for over 50 years.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
Rail Cars Happy Hour is here. Stop by 144th and Blondo Monday through Saturday from 2:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 2 to close, and enjoy $2 to $5 off appetizers, $1 off draft and bottles of beer, and delicious ciders. All signature cocktails are $10. Classic cocktails are $8, and every glass of wine is $2 off. Plus, Rail Cars' incredible brunch menu is on display 9:30 to 2 Saturday and Sunday. Rail Car Modern American Kitchen, 144th and Blondo.
Are you dreaming of your business dominating local Google searches, drawing in customers effortlessly? Look no further. I'm Courtney, the Google gal from Pixel Fire Marketing. Need assistance with your Google business profile? From verification to getting more reviews, fixing maps to tackling annoying Google calls? I've got you covered. Your profile sets you apart and ensures you're the top choice for local customers. Visit fixmygbp.com for our $297 special offer. Visit fixmygbp.com for more details.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can gift to a child.
This is time for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
$7:30 on a Thursday night here on 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen and Dan Campen, and now joined by Brian Munson from Husker Online and on the B Munson. Good evening. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man.
Welcome back to God's country.
I am digging it. I love the weather. I could deal without your guys' gas prices. I was telling you offline that you guys are getting ripped off a little bit. I think we paid $291 before we left town, and then it was usually Oklahoma's cheaper than Texas, but it wasn't this time. And you guys are anywhere between like 35 and 50 cents more expensive per gallon. So I don't know why you guys are paying that much for gas right now.
We need Texas prices in Nebraska. You heard it here.
Yes, bring them on.
I got to ask, what are you doing in Columbus? If you can divulge.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm up here a day early. I wanted to stay in Columbus versus going to Grand Island. So tomorrow I will be in Grand Island. So two reasons. First one is my son is partaking in a snapping camp, but the second reason is that it is the Sam Foltz 10th anniversary Coles kicking camp that they're putting on in memory of Sam. Now, all proceeds going to the Sam Foltz Foundation. I'm actually going to be catching up with Thomas Molstead here pretty quickly later on this afternoon. This evening to talk to him about the event tomorrow. Already talked to Jamie Cole a little bit, and just it's really amazing to me that time has gone so fast. He's been gone 10 years. Looking forward to meeting some of this family tomorrow, and my son wanted to just take part in the camp, which will be unlike anything like he's done before, because usually it's very competitive. But tomorrow should be very informative and just kind of trying to spread the word about training for specialists and how great a specialist that you've had, recently come out of the state of Nebraska. You've had 2 5-star snappers the last 2 years. You've had great kickers like Brett Maher and others that are, Sam Foltz, obviously too, that obviously have come out of the area, but there's training out there that those guys can get to help them try to make it to the next level. So that's what tomorrow's all about.
Before we actually get into Nebraska stuff, I want to get your thoughts on this, because obviously you may have a little more unique perspective than most, because your son being a specialist. But there's been all the talk about NIL and the transfer portal and it being about the guys and the high-end dollar recruits. Do you feel like that has been the case from coaching staffs worrying about positions like long snapper, like specialists, things of that nature? Does it seem like the importance on those positions are as high as they've ever been?
They are. They're dude. I had my first poaching story of a long snapper I've ever heard earlier this year. Literally, I'm talking 6 figures for him to leave where he was at to go to another school. We were really good friends with Matthew O, who was the #1 long snapper in the country last year, signed with South Carolina, full ride, NIL, rev share, all the other things that, of course, that kind of went along with that too, were blowing my mind. But and you got 2028s now that are committing to Oklahoma. Yeah. It's really wild. I have never seen this type of emphasis on specialists before, ever. And Nebraska was dialing it up with Eckler, and it'll be interesting to kind of see how Brett Maher kind of pushes forward with that. But yeah, you're absolutely correct. I have never, ever seen this before. And it's good. I mean, we're kind of at the right place at the right time. So my son's a little different. He's a 4-star guy. He doesn't have quite like that snap time like the 0.6s. He's a 0.7 guy. But, those guys are 5'10", 185. My son's 6'3", 235. So you got a little bit different thing going on there with those guys. But absolutely, the emphasis on specialists right now is just bizarre.
Let's flip to Nebraska for a second. I want to talk about what Jeep Wade has been able to do since he got to Lincoln, and not like specifically what he's been able to do from a recruiting standpoint, because that's obviously been incredible, but specifically in state. I mean, obviously, since last time we talked, they landed Matt Erickson out of Miller North. Why do you think he's had the success he's had both nationally and in state with the recruiting that he's been able to pull off?
I think he's incredibly committed to recruiting. I think he is vigilant. I think he puts forth a lot of effort. I think that Nebraska is going to be a place, in a situation unlike anything he's ever had to do before, because, it's one of those places, obviously, that you got to, get on a plane typically and go out and see your guys, where when you live in a more populated area, typically it's just, window time in a car and going from school to school to school to figure out how you're going to fill up your class. So I think what Coach Wade is showing people is how to do the job, how to be vigilant, how to be a great communicator, how to be a good evaluator, how to really develop those relationships. He did bring some forward, obviously, Agbanoma and Alu, Katie Jones, another guy that he had a relationship with, obviously, but he developed it with Kittrell. He obviously inherited, Matt Erickson, a legacy guy. I think he's really, I think that there's some really positive words coming out of the North Stadium about what they like about Matt Erickson, and getting him in the boat and being excited about him. But I think that they put together a really solid group. And I think if you really get down to it, it comes down to just communication, elbow grease, and just kind of being a great personable guy.
When we look at the number of bodies they've been able to put in the offensive line room, you just mentioned a couple interior guys, a couple of guys that can play out on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's about adding depth, or do you think it's about building the future, or a combination of both?
I think you're looking at a little bit of a combination of both. I mean, obviously you got 5 guys there. You got a, probably more of a tackle guy in Erickson. You got a guy like Alu that probably would start out as an offensive tackle. You wonder, though, is he really going to be a guy that's going to move down inside? They're talking about Kittrell being a guy that can play all 5 spots. So you're talking about versatility there. And then you're really talking about like Katie and Jordan that I think really do project more towards, playing inside at guard. But that being said, I think there's always a thing about coaches wanting to bring their own guys in. Number one, I think that they're more comfortable with that. I think that always is always a thing. But I think, the way that he is evaluating guys, I think that the one big thing that we maybe have not heard a whole heck of a lot about before his time there in Lincoln is he really values the footwork, and he really values athleticism as an offensive lineman. So I think the guys that you're seeing here are nimble. They're explosive, but they're still got their feet. Kittrell's a basketball player. And obviously those guys, they're really good on their feet. They know how to move, that they play light on their feet. And I think that that's the kind of guy that they're really looking for, when it comes to Nebraska. They're looking for dudes that can move, but then are also explosive, and they can be road graders. But I think that they want to see the guys that can really get out there and establish zone blocking schemes, get out on those pass rushers in the Big Ten. And I think those are the kind of guys that Jeep Wade is interested in.
I want to bring one of those guys up too, and you just mentioned him a minute ago. But a lot of times we talk about 4 stars getting that illustrious 5th star, and I look at a guy like Katie Jones, who on film can get to every level and get there quickly. Do you think he's a guy we're talking about getting a lot more national notoriety as this fall rolls on?
I do. I thought it was kind of funny, man, because I put on his film and I'm really wondering why he's kind of stuck there at that low 3-star, 500 rated nationally kind of ranking. His athleticism is really incredible. I saw him getting out. I dare say this because I know the Nebraska fans pride themselves on fullback play, but dude, this guy could move like a fullback, and he was getting out and he was reaching guys at the second level, and he was incredibly quick. But I mean,
he looks like a monster on screenplays too.
I really feel like that's a guy that's being severely overlooked when it comes to this class, because you've got the Jordan, Agbanoma, you got Timmy Alu, you got some home state kids that are there that are also in the class, getting you up to 4, And then you get a second guy from Grayson, and it's, he's not as highly rated as Jordan is, but man, put on the film. That dude is a straight up freak. He's got a little bit of an edge to him, and he is an athlete.
I want to talk about the trade, and we're catching up with Brian Munson of Husker Online and On 3 here on After Hours. I want to talk about the Trey Taylor effect, and not necessarily when it comes to recruiting at Nebraska, but I want to talk about recruiting the state of Nebraska. Obviously, Millard South had a 5-star quarterback last year in Jet Tamala, but he was a guy that didn't necessarily get the national notoriety that maybe deserved. A lot of that due to the fact that he was committed to Alabama and maybe not getting the rub around here. But do you think that the state is going to benefit from maybe a couple of other guys getting eyes on them that maybe they wouldn't have with a player like that now in the state of Nebraska?
I absolutely do. I mean, I think I can say this on the air. I don't think I have to worry about it too much. There's a couple of wide receivers that I was told about that were hitting the camp circuit that are Millard South guys, and they're incredibly talented. And I got some feedback on them, and it's just going to come down to needing to see film essentially for them to kind of make the jump from being kind of unknown because they don't have a lot of film from the previous season to now all of a sudden you have Trey Taylor that's there throwing you passes that is going to help you really kind of get that exposure in the stats that you're going to need to put your film together to kind of get your own kind of thing going. That was really firsthand kind of accounts of several Millard South receivers that they just did not have kind of the film to back up how well they were testing, how well they really did at the camp. And now that they got Trey there, to kind of give them an opportunity to get some good strikes on them and put the ball on them a little bit, I think it's really going to help them to get their exposure and get them noticed at the next level. They'll get their opportunity to go play college football a lot because of Trey Taylor and having a great quarterback back there to distribute the football.
You've already kind of talked about this in 3 and Out. Now that it's available on Husker Online, check out huskeronline.com to get more information on it. But obviously, we've already talked about a ton of names in the 2027 class. What is left for Nebraska in the class of 2027, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think I put down 4 names in the first section of 3 and Out on Wednesday morning. I think there's really only like 3 moving parts. You come back to Kamari Whitfield, the nickel cornerback / safety out of First Academy in Orlando, former high school teammate of Danny Odom, really good. Got a relationship with Addison Williams that goes back a long ways, but also very much connected to Trey Taylor. And I think that you're looking at a July 6th announcement date for him. I think it was, the former Tennessee commitment is, I think it was kind of what was it? Oregon, Florida State, Florida, Nebraska, I think is what he was choosing from. I think it was pretty significant that he decided not to visit Florida State last weekend. I think Nebraska made a massive impression. I'm pretty close to putting my prediction in for him to be a Husker, which would be a really great class for Addison Williams. I think that'd be the 4th 4-star in the secondary because you got Hadley, you got Pittman. No, it'd be the 5th because you got Bryce Williams, you got Jalen Hill. That'd be the 5th 4-star guy in the secondary for Addison Williams, which is just tremendous. And then you come back to the offensive side of the football. You start talking about Khalil Taylor. I think things started to really look good for him after he got to Lincoln. Really connected well. Got a great feeling for things. I know Colorado was making a significant push. I think everybody thought that Penn State was in the driver's seat there, but I think Nebraska has pulled past those guys, all of them. And I think that the Taylor to Taylor possibility is really true and really real. So I think that's a big one. He's also announcing July 6th. And then, of course, you got 5-star tight end Ahmad Hudson from, the LSU commitment. Was also there, in Lincoln in early June after, kind of messed up or missed on his basketball hopes and dreams for the U.S. team, but got an opportunity to take that official visit. I think he is very much in play for the Cornhuskers, which is going to really surprise a lot of people. But I think it's really, I mean, it's going to come down to, I think, understanding the fit with the basketball team. And I think that there's also a couple of personal things he's still kind of trying to work through. Being a legacy guy with LSU, it's not going to be easy because I've mentioned before there's a lot of pressure, from everyone in Louisiana typically to stay home and go play for the Tigers. So this would be something here that honestly, if it carried all the way out to December and Nebraska pushed like basically that first week and a half in December, it might actually be a better play than getting him on board, say by Labor Day, and trying to keep him on board, because I think that'd be really difficult for the Huskers to do.
That's Brian Munson. You can catch all of his work at HuskerOnline.com. Follow him on Twitter at Brian Munson_B. We appreciate it. We'll catch up with you next week.
Later, brother.
If you missed Brian's segment tonight, join it halfway through. You can check it out on our radio replay page on 1620thezone.com. Tonight is brought to you by Pasta Amore in Rockbrook Village. You don't do it by accident. For 40 years and have the level of success that Pasta Amore has. Hand-making pasta daily right here in Omaha. We get a ton of stuff from Pasta Amore every week. This week on Taste Test Tuesday, we got the house-made lasagna bolognese. Fresh ingredients every day. You could tell nothing in it had been frozen. Incredible pop and flavor. If you want delicious appetizers like the meatball boat appetizer, don't tell I told you so. It's better than how your grandma used to make it. Stop by Rockbrook Village and check out Pasta Amore. If you've been missing out for the last 40 years, where have you been? Try it tonight. You're not going to regret it. It is the ideal date night experience in the Omaha area. Check out Pasta Amore tonight. We give you our closing arguments. Wrap up the show right here on 1620 The Zone when we come back.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own, because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Ready to make a positive impact in a young boy's life? Join Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Midlands and become a mentor, where you are matched up with a boy in the greater Omaha area. Over 50 boys are waiting for someone like you to guide and inspire them. Visit mentoromaha.org and sign up to make a difference in a boy's life. Don't wait. Make a lasting impact today.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Is your car making weird noises? Don't wait until a small issue turns into a big repair bill. Take it to Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where they take the madness out of auto repair. From oil changes and brakes to full diagnostics, their expert team gets you back on the road fast and without breaking the bank. Honest, reliable, local. That's the Mad Hatter difference. Follow the Little White Rabbit to 140th and West Center Road in Omaha, or 34th and West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Mad Hatter Auto Repair, where your car gets treated right.
The real game changer in college athletics, it's coaches. And at Bellevue University, there is an experienced team of coaches who know you both as an athlete and as a person. Plus, there are student coach advisors who are there to provide individualized academic support every step of the way as you progress towards your degree. At Bellevue University, you're not just another athlete. You belong. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
It's easy to see the common signs of transmission trouble.
If your engine revs before it falls into gear. If it seems to switch gears for no reason.
If shifts are rough, lurching, or clunking.
So watch for the signs.
Because catching it early could mean repair instead of replacement.
And if you do need transmission work, be sure to call
Certified Transmission, the job done right at the right price.
Find a location near you at certifiedtransmission.com.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows? Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Now back to After Hours with Jimmy Allen on 1620 The Zone.
Shut her down on a Thursday night here at 1620 The Zone. Jimmy Allen and Dan Campion in with you here, wrapping up the show with our closing arguments, courtesy of Williams Law. We're going to give you 2 hot takes to wrap up the show. We'll put a poll up on Twitter. We're going to vote for whoever had the best take. Whoever receives the fewest amount of takes will lose the closing arguments of the night. Dan, do you want to go and start us off?
Yes, I do. Mentioned him during the break, but Rich Rodriguez, again, man of many talents and man of many great ideas. While wanting Pat McAfee, obviously, to donate to West Virginia University, he also has another good idea, and that is this man wants to play Pitt every year. And I am so here for, if you have an old school rivalry where they're no longer in your conference and in your regular schedule, Oklahoma, you should be able to schedule said old rivalry every single year. I think it's good for the fans of both universities. I think it's good for the, fans in both communities. It's something that I'm surprised that more coaches haven't reached out for and haven't said more about. Granted, I understand that the pushback to this could be, well, West Virginia and Pitt is a different situation. They're right in each other's backyards. They do that border battle. If Missouri and Kansas can do a border battle in basketball and can do it in football every so often, it should just be a thing that happens within your university.
I agree. I think that's a great take. I think we've got to find a way to try to make the non-conference more regionalized for teams. I think that's a fantastic idea. Another fantastic idea is one that I think the Big Ten had. It felt really square peg, round hole having Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas last year, and they've moved it back to Chicago this season, which we didn't get to talk about earlier when we were talking about who Nebraska was choosing to send to Big Ten Media Days. I think they absolutely got this one right. You need to have these in a regionalized area, preferably a state that has one of your teams in it. Like, it would have felt less weird if they'd have done this in Seattle. Like, there's no tie between Las Vegas and the Big Ten. There was no reason to do it there. I'm glad they moved it back to Chicago. I think a lot of people, specifically media members that have to travel for this, are going to be happy that it was done as well. But I think they made the right move. And yes, you have to kind of pound your chest about your league being coast to coast and involving everybody. What you don't need to do is help other cities that don't help your conference. And Las Vegas definitely fits into that mold. I'm really happy that it's heading back there. And I hope, listen, I love Vegas, Dan. We've talked about this before. I'm never going to complain about having to go to Las Vegas, but it just, you're doing so much from a TV deal rights standpoint and trying to get as many sponsors as you possibly can. I think honoring the people that are taking care of your conference from a non-monetary standpoint, in some cases these cities are, that it's probably best to do best by them.
Don't hate that take one bit. Plus, I love the city of Chicago.
If you love any of our takes and want to hear the rest of the show, check it out on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. We had a great conversation with the Millard South softball team tonight. Brian Munson from Husker Online joined us. And also, Jimmy and Dan's takes never get old. You can always listen to them at After Hours 1620 or on our radio replay page at 1620thezone.com. It was brought to you by Bob Williams of Williams Law. If you are facing criminal charges, maybe you've been wrongfully accused, maybe you're a father or a mother that's dealing with a son or daughter that's found themselves facing litigation, head over to WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. Get a free, no obligation legal consultation with Bob and his team. What does that mean? That means they're going to sit you down, explain your rights, and get you ready for yours or your loved one's big day in court. Make sure you have the answers you deserve with the representation you need. Check out WilliamsLawLLC.com tonight. It's not quite 4th of July, but we want to wish everybody a happy National Bomb Pop Day, everybody.
Are you ready for the game changer of the day? Bellevue University has a new state-of-the-art 72,000 square foot fieldhouse featuring premium courts, generous fan seating, top-tier locker rooms, dedicated athletic training, and a strength and conditioning space, plus a whole lot more. It's not just a venue, it's a home court advantage. We're for you and for college sports. Visit BUBruins.com.
The weather's warming up, meaning ants, wasps, and termites are teaming up to invade your home. It's time to call in a better team. At Recon Pest Services, we stop the bugs before they take over. But our commitment doesn't stop at your front door. We care for your property like it's our own because our community is our family. We're dedicated to making Omaha better by supporting local youth sports, events, and community causes. Partner with a pest control company that truly cares. Visit ReconPestServices.com today and stay protected all season long.
Criminal, civil, personal. If you or a loved one is facing a lawsuit, let Williams Law represent you and your family today. With more than 20 years litigation experience in Nebraska, Williams Law will defend you with the dedication you deserve. If you're facing a DUI or if your son or daughter has been accused of a crime, Williams Law is here for you. Call 402-522-6317 to get a free, no-obligation consultation and to get the representation you deserve today.
It's 3 a.m. The last episode's over, and you're exhausted and triumphant. The next episode is calling. Sleep is for quitters. Aloe Fiber keeps every binge streaming till sunrise. No buffering, no lag, just smooth streams. Can your internet provider do that? Stream it like you mean it at aloefiber.com/all-in.
At Early Bird Brunch, value means giving you a brunch experience that's anything but ordinary. Step into our modern diner and taste chef-inspired dishes that turn classics on their heads, like the completely unique hash hole, the AM pot pie, and of course, pancakes and omelets, but with an Early Bird twist. Brunch isn't just for Sundays. Early riser or late sleeper. Come in any day and discover what brunch can be. Early Bird Brunch. Not your everyday brunch. Every day. earlybirdbrunch.com.
Hey there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, planning a spring wild turkey hunt? Many of us are. Then we need to remember safety first at all times when we're in the field. We need to be doubly sure of our target and background before we fire a shot. And never, ever wear the colors of the wild turkey gobbler, red, white, blue, and black. Plan your hunt and hunt your plan. Be safe out there. I'm Greg Wagner.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion windows. Book your free estimate online at ChampionSaveNow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.